All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about a story that really upsets me and should upset you. So, from the New York Post here, it says homeless vets are being booted from New York hotels to make room for migrants. Now, obviously, right now we have an ongoing crisis on the southern border. We have tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, if not more, people flooding into the country. We don't know who they are, we don't know where they're from, and they're being given priority over people who have served the country. So, from the New York Post here, it says nearly 2 dozen struggling homeless veterans have been booted from upstate hotels to make room for migrants, says a nonprofit group that works with the vets. The ex military, including a 24-year-old man in desperate need of help after serving in Afghanistan, were told by the hotels at the beginning of the week that their temporary housing was getting pulled out from under them at the establishments and that they'd have to move on to another spot, according to the group in a sickened local poll. Our veterans have been placed in another hotel due to what's going on with the immigrants, said Sharon Tony Finch, the CEO of the Yerrick Israel Tony Foundation. Tony Finch, a disabled military veteran, created YIT to raise awareness of premature births, as well as helping the homeless and low income military service veterans in need of living assistance. One of the vets called me on Sunday, she said. He told me he had to leave because the hotel said the extended stay is not available. Then I got another call. We didn't waste any time, the advocate said. That's when we started on Monday to organize when and where to move them all. I'm glad you called me today, she told the Post. Last night I was crying. Tony Finch said 15 of the veterans got the heave ho from the Crossroads Hotel in Newburgh, about 60 miles north of New York City in Orange County, a new epicenter of Big Apple's migrant crisis since Mayor Eric Adams began busing Gotham's overflow there against local officials' wishes. So, and you can be sure that this is happening in other areas. We just haven't heard about it yet. Now, New York City Mayor Eric Adams has complained about migrants, illegal aliens being bused to New York City, but then he turns around and buses them somewhere else. So, kind of hypocritical there, isn't it? Goes on to say here the other 5 displaced veterans were split between 2 other local facilities, the Super 8 and Hampton Inn and Suites in Middletown. Tony Finch said the Middletown hotels are not believed to have migrants yet, but were reportedly on the city's short list to take some. So, at least these guys and gals were able to find other accommodations. But what's to say next week they're going to say, well, we have more migrants, you have to go, and eventually they don't have a place to stay. Now, who should get the priority? Well, that's pretty obvious, right? So we just have all these people coming into the country. They're going to be housed. They're going to be fed. They're all going to have cell phones. They're all going to have 3 square meals a day. We're all paying for it. Now, people need to pay attention. People need to pay attention. I know a lot of people say that, oh, there's no difference between the parties, and to some extent, that has some truth to it. But we need to pay attention, and in our next election, the guy that's currently president, we need to get this guy out. Hopefully, get the guy that was president before back in there, because certainly don't think that this kind of thing would be happening to this degree under those conditions. So this should tick off anybody. I don't care what your political persuasion is, unless you're just a total freak, who wants to kick out American veterans because you hate the military, maybe. To put and look at some of the pictures here of these migrants. Look, they're wearing Nike. They look well fed. They look in good physical health. Um, but unfortunately, we have to kick out our men and women that serve the country to accommodate these folks. Shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't be the case. So let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.